is absolutely beautiful. I'm in Scotland and I'm starting a magical journey. This time I'll be travelling through vast open Scottish countryside on an epic adventure. We'll be visiting the places you never get to see while thumbing through the pages of a guidebook. There's 10,000 miles and 34 shires, all steeped in living history. We'll be travelling through the Scottish landscape to find great, big, epic stories about people and the history of their town. So come on, follow me!
The adventure begins, well, it begins as you might expect, travelling away from the city and into the surrounding shires, where all the Edinburgh hints of Scotland's history can be discovered. Starting in Scotland's ancient capital city, Perth, I'll be travelling north along the open road for 16 beautiful miles. This particular town is small. Its personality is big, and as someone who grew up here, I can confidently say it's unlike any town you've ever been to.
Getting around Scotland's backyard is super simple. You can go from trains to buses to cars to even cycling super easily. Now, for this part of the journey, we're going to be getting the bus from Perth bus station to Blairgowrie. It'll take us about 50 minutes. It'll cost us about £3.90 for a single ticket, but you'll want to get a return ticket, which will cost you about £7 if you're planning on coming back to Perth on that same day. So, let's go.
It seems like I've stepped on this bus for what feels like the millionth time, but the number 57 at Perth bus station is still a local's favourite. It also happens to be the gateway to the Highlands. Coincidence? I don't think so. It's green, open, and peaceful, with untouched natural beauty and a whole lot of wilderness. Make no mistake, getting the 57 here is your magic ticket into Scotland's backyard.
So, a working class industrial mill town in the 17th century, and more recently it was the soft fruit growing capital of the entire world in the 18th century. People would flock here from all over Scotland and Europe by the thousands in search of well-paid work and the chance to pick fresh fruit from the nearby farms. Today though, the locals have nicknamed this town the Berry Tomb, and I couldn't think of a better place to start my journey.
Welcome to Blairgowrie, one of the most charming, creative and adventurous towns in the heart of Scotland. Its cultural centre, the Well Meadow, touches all corners of town. And for a town that focuses on looking forwards, there's something reassuringly old-fashioned about this place.
Even though today we're in a much smaller part of the world, you still get this feeling that this place is trying to offer you something not found in a typical city. And I think it's a connection to things made and grown locally.
The best ways to experience slow travel in Blairgowrie is through meetings and exchanges with local craftspeople. And so, I'm exploring Nest, an open studio across the road from the bench I was just sitting on. It sits literally on the edge of the Blairgowrie Bridge. This building, built in 1890, was known as Temperance Hotel and Coffee House. But the locals, they simply referred to it as the Blair Hotel. Fast forward to today and you'll discover the master weaver himself, Ashley. Handcrafting unique Scottish tartan. He loves this town and he devoted his own tartan to it, and I'm here to discover why.
So you were born and raised in Derbyshire?
I was born and raised in Derbyshire, so for my sins I'm either adopted Scottish now or I'm still an outsider.
You know, of all the places that you could have went to, why Blair?
And the reason why we moved to Blair Gallery was just out of the beauty of a place.
Yeah.
We were looking for somewhere to be near Dundee, so I could attend university, and also finding something that's got the most suitable accommodation. It's not easy trying to look for a house that's accessible for wheelchair, but we've been here since 2006 and we've decided to stay.
That's really good that you managed to find this place, because this place has proven to be so important in what you do now. You know the people that you've met, the relationships that you've built up with the local farmers. You know, you've managed to create your own tweed for one of the local farmers, Melanie Thompson of Thomas Thompson Farms. Now that was a berries and cherries. How did this all come about? What's the story here?
So basically, the Blairgowrie berries and cherries, which is we're starting here. It was initially woven. Now I think it's on its 5th anniversary now. But initially it was woven with Thomas Thompson. We got together and we kind of combined the ideas of the berries and cherries of the fruits, so it contains all the colours of the industry of the Thomas's fruit growing company. And Melanie Thompson kind of adopted the tartan. It's still hand woven here. We still get it commercially woven as well. And then from there on it's just grew, and then we've made merchandise from this. I say, it just keeps going from strength to strength, and that's the story of a tartan. It's just really represent the fruit growing industry, as you know, because Blairgowrie is renowned for its berries.
So why do you do this? I mean, it must be a hard job to do.
I do this for therapy. There's no hard. It's hard, but it's not. I actually enjoy it. It's therapeutic. When you actually get into the weaving side of it, it's very rhythmic. I think the hardest part of this is setting up looms, finding the right colours for tartans, and actually making sure everything kind of blends and matches together. We've lost the tourist information now, but we're trying to, try and promote it locally.
Yeah, why shop locally?
It's really important, I think, supporting smaller local businesses. You actually get a more friendlier side. You can actually source the person who makes it. There's more of a connection to the story of the cloth I design and make. Now, obviously, times have shifted and things, and everybody wants fast fashion and quick made stuff, and we're getting kind of pushed out the market. I think there's a re-insurgence now for people to come back to craft.
If you shop in a big supermarket, then that money goes out of the economy as quickly as it comes in. Whereas if you shop with people like you, and maybe you're here visiting on holiday and you want to take something back, and I think it's common sense that the best thing you probably could take back is something that was handcrafted and locally produced, because that's a memory in itself. You know, you've got years and years of experience, and all of that has been woven into your tartan, and people get to take that away with them, and that, I think, is priceless.
Although the factories and mills have long since come down, Blairgowrie's history with craftspeople remains. Peek through the window of an open studio and you'll find all manner of designers, artists and craftspeople. Someone like Ashley Slater of Tartan Caledonia. Inspired by his town, Ashley specialises in unique, one-of-a-kind tartan that juxtapose natural patterns with the vibrant colours of the landscape. His work clearly embodies the spirit of nature, the 18th century textile mills, and of course carries the spirit of Scotland. If you're coming through Blairgowrie, go and visit my friend Ashley. Tell him Kyle sent you, because even if the weather isn't good, I promise you, being in his presence will make your day. There's a lot of good reasons to explore Blairgowrie, and few are better than the fruit. And sitting 10 minutes away on the outskirts of town, looking for what I've been told is the best fruit in all of Scotland, is the berry bee. That's right, my second stop brings me to a giant strawberry sitting at the side of an open road, amongst a landscape, painted in polytunnels.
Alright, this is where the magic is grown. And if you don't know by now, agriculture is a massive deal around here. The reason why is because Blairgowrie is home to the soft fruit growing industry. It's had a massive influence on where this town got its nickname, the Berry Town. And for the past 100 years, the Thompson family who own and live on these farms have been growing and sharing their space with other nearby farmers and growers to sell the fresh fruit by the punnet to people all over Scotland.
In the late 18th century, at its height, 4,000 men and women, who were often seasonal travellers, were recruited to pick the fruit here, and they benefited from free housing, good wages, and hearty meals at low rates. They even had a dedicated train back then, the Raspberry Special Express service, that shipped thousands of tons of fruit to all corners of Britain from right here in Blairgowrie. Just when you think things couldn't get more delightful, I got the chance to meet the lady who oversees the entire place, Melanie Thompson.
How did the strawberry come about? And what is it? You know, what is it?
Aha. So this strawberry is our kiosk, which we use as our pop-up shop, really.
Okay.
And
right.
it's here from beginning of June through to the end of August. And so we buy in fruits from the locality that are grown, so the blackberries, the raspberries, the strawberries, and we also sell our own blueberries and cherries when they come on stream.
When we look at this farm and we look at its history and we look at the foundations of this place, how far back does everything go?
Aha. Well, it's quite a long time actually. There's been raspberries grown on Westfield Farm here since 1895, I think it was. So it's definitely more than 100 years. In fact, it's more like 125 years.
Really, 125 years?
If you look back at some of the old newspaper reports, basically the town was inundated with berry pickers from probably the beginning of July, usually when the raspberries started, for about 6 weeks till middle of August, say when they would finish. That was the short picking season. And it was a hub of activity. There was a big picking area out at S&D called the Tin City, and that was a development that had been started by, I think, the Hodge family originally, and getting together with other people and buying land and dividing it into small holdings so that people could grow. And there was a ready market for the fruit in those days. So it was a win-win situation for everybody.
Bursting berries, 100% natural, Thomas Thompson. And it's a lovely little bottle, lovely colours, one of your fibre a day, and sugar me. Yes. You got to give it a wee sugar. Why did you come up with this? Why? What inspired you to do this?
It's a wonderful mix of 5 different berries that are all grown locally. And I suppose it's my answer to the boost of antioxidants that were I suppose a few years ago, were being promoted with foreign berries. So, for example, pomegranate juice or acai berries. These are all foreign fruits, which are very high in antioxidants. But people should know, really, that we have just as good fruits grown in the UK, which are also very, very high in antioxidants.
Smells really nice.
What I've done here is made a mix of 5 of the best. And so the 5 that I've got in this mix are raspberries, strawberries, black currants, red currants, and aronia.
Oh, that's fine.
If you take it as a shot, which is primarily what it was designed as, it gives you a real boost. And just, I think it sort of does somehow restore your energy. I don't know whether that's absolutely true, but I did have somebody once who was running a marathon, and said, so she took 8 with her, and she said she was convinced that it was the berry bees that got her through the marathon, so that was nice to hear.
It's that good. I've got it all over my face. No, that is beautiful. I really like that. That was lovely to meet you.
Very, very nice to meet you too.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and thanks for coming, Carl.
That's okay. Thank you very much.
Pleasure to
Thank you.
show you.
It's not often you get to spend some time with someone whose identity and sense of history is so embedded in a place.
The thing I love about Melanie is her kindness and the generosity that she shares with the people she meets. Her job isn't easy, but if it wasn't for all of the other farmers and local growers working together, there simply would be no Berrytown.
Stories like these are the life and soul of any town, and it's this magical ingredient that connects people together through shared identity. And in this case, it's the berries, cherries, and handcrafted tartan. I'm continuing the journey along the open road, following the River Erict upstream, where I'm greeted with fantastic architectural charm.
Oh, this has to be one of Blairgowrie's best kept secrets.
An abandoned road turned nature's eerie playground.
You know those movies where the dark comes out of the bushes and out of nowhere? Well, I'm waiting on one of them.
And a legendary castle, high up on a cliff, peeking out above a carpet of trees.
I think this one is Blairgowrie and Rattray's answer to Edinburgh Castle. So the next time you're travelling, slow down a little, visit the locals and experience the magic that could only be found in the local towns and shires across Scotland. You don't have to come here. Just simply put the phone down, get on a bus, even if it's just to visit your granny. I promise you, there's magic to be found in that too.